these little rituals that I do every morning just keep me very grounded. And I really, really enjoy these moments. Hello YouTube family, what's up? I wanted to give you guys a little extra bonus video since I was away last week. I was traveling, and so today's just gonna be like a little vlog of me doing my typical Monday routine. I usually don't work on Mondays, but now that I'm starting to film again, I'm still trying to figure out, like, am I gonna film like on the weekends, like on Saturday or Sunday, and then like just edit and post on Mondays, or am I just gonna like film, edit, post Mondays? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But normally I would not be working. The work that I do on Mondays is for me. I pull cards for myself. I sit at my altar. I go for nature walks. I run errands. I usually go grocery shopping as well. Mondays are me days. So now they have been turning into me and y'all days. So anyways, yeah, I hear the jazz playing in the background. I'm going to make myself something to eat. And I'm also going to reset my space. So you guys will get to see a little bit of that. Come on, come along. This is my kitchen. I'm on period today and my energy is like really low again. And normally I don't work on Mondays, but because I'm committed to y'all, here I am. The lighting in my kitchen is terrible. Just want to let you guys know. But anyways, I love to reset on Mondays, and I love to have jazz playing in the background, and I'll have some incense on. I'm just gonna light some incense. This is actually new incense that I recently purchased. This is part of my little spiritual haul that I'm about to show y'all. I went to an Ethiopian store near where I live, and they sell incense. This is what it looks like. It's just like resin and some different items in here, and it smells so good. I have an incense drawer here. It is full of so many incense and different incense types. Like I have resin. This is actually some resin that one of my friends brought me back from Africa. This is from Togo. It smells amazing. I have like the rope incense. I have combs. I have a whole box of charcoal. So I love burning charcoal. This is frankincense resin. And if you're from New York, you probably know where this container is from, okay? Because listen, let me tell you something. Our people are the original reuse, reduce, recycle. This container is from Rice to Riches in Soho. They make all kinds of rice pudding. It's so good. So I like to actually save the containers, and I will use, look at the little spoon. It's like a little melted from all the heat, but yeah. So this is my incense drawer. So depending on the mood that I'm in, or how like I want to feel, do I want to cleanse the space, do I want more creative energy, like, you know, it just depends on the mood and the vibe that I'm in. I'll come in and I'll pick incense from my incense drawer. So I'll take a little piece of coal like this. You know, these are the hookah coals. You guys are probably familiar with these. So I'll wait until I see that it's kind of like lit, and then I'll place it in a fire safe dish. So it's my little cauldron there, so it's on. Then I drop it in there, and then let's see. I think today I'm gonna burn some of this copal. I got this while I was in Canada at a spiritual store that I went to with my friends. This is white copal, and aka young amber. And this is for protection, sacred space, creativity, spiritual growth, happiness, and energy clearing. And remember, when you're burning any kind of incense in your home, you want to open up windows to clear the energy so that energy has somewhere to go. A lot of people, for whatever reason, will burn incense or light incense, and they don't open up any windows, so that energy has nowhere to go. It has to have somewhere to go. So this will just melt on there, and then I'll just let this do its thing, and then I'll come back and I'll add more, or I'll add different incense. I like to create like my own little magical blends, but it's such a vibe. So sometimes I'll just go around the house cleansing energy in the space I start at the front door, and I'll say like a prayer, a blessing for my home, for my space, and I'll go clockwise around the house. So I'll start at the door, and then I'll go to all of the rooms all around until I come back, just clearing the space, saying prayers, calling in protection, and whatever I want to call in this week, right? Prosperity, alignment, creativity, groundedness, whatever it is that I want to call in is the intentions that I'm setting as I'm going around my home, clearing and cleansing the energy. I love burning incense. Like, if you love candles, you will probably be obsessed with having incense in your home. It just changes the energy and the frequency in the space. That's what it's supposed to do. And whenever I don't have anything burning in my house, it just feels so like stagnant and stale. So I'm always gonna have a candle burning at home. I'm always gonna have some incense burning. I might have a combination of the two. It just does something to your frequency, your energy, and I love it. So this and some jazz is usually what's playing in the background in my house. Like, I need a scent, and I need something for my ears. That's usually some jazz. So that's kind of like the beginning of my Mondays. That's how I start my day. And then now I'm going to water my plants. This is one of my favorite plants. I don't like to be biased, but that's my girl. She's been with me since I lived in Chicago. I brought her with me. She was one of the only plants that I brought along with my money plant from Chicago. So she has a special place in my heart. I recently repotted her. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I did a whole series talking about like the magic of, well, I'm doing a series talking about the magic of plants and other things, and the first video that I did was on the magic of Monsteras. If you're an entrepreneur, it's an incredible plant to have in your home, especially in your office, because she brings a lot of creative energy to your space. And she's very chatty. She likes when you talk to her, and she's really good to help you call in abundance. Like, if you tell her the things that you desire and the things that you want to call in, like, she will use her energy and help you grow into your abundance. So Monstera is a great plant to have in your office. This is my office, by the way. Maybe in the future I'll give you guys an office tour after I finish like doing all the things that I want to do in here. I have so many plans and ideas and visions and things like that. This is my other Monstera. She's a baby. I got her at the supermarket recently, and she's a little bit of a show off. Like, she's a little bit of a diva. She definitely has like diva energy. So I'll come water my plants. I'll chat with them, say hello to them, give them my intentions for the week too, so that they can help me out. And now we go back to the kitchen for the rest of the work. I almost forgot one plant. So this plant I keep at my altar. She's a little cutie, a little pothos. And how cute is this cauldron? It doesn't have any holes in the bottom, but it's just so cute. I'm obsessed. And so I water her just a little bit because I don't want to give her too much water, because this doesn't have any drains. I actually need to put some rocks at the bottom of this to help with the drainage in the future, but she is growing. She loves being on my altar and in my sacred space. I also clean up any flowers or anything that I might have left on my altars for ancestors. I personally don't like throwing these flowers away, and what I personally do is that when I go on my walks with Rico into nature, into the woods, I give them as offerings to nature. And it's just my own little way to like say thank you. Sometimes I'll bring them fresh flowers too. But yeah, that's like a little ritual that I do with my leftover flowers. And these have been sitting there for the past week because I've been away. A lot of these flowers are actually wildflowers. I got them from the community garden that is here where I live. One thing to keep in mind is if you decide to give flowers back to nature is to be conscious of not polluting the environment as well. As you guys know, most of the things that are grown here in the US are grown with a lot of pesticides. And so you just want to be mindful that you're not overpopulating the earth with things that have a lot of pesticides in them. Like some flowers have pesticides, all those things. So I just wanted to kind of share that disclaimer. If you decide to do something similar to that, just be conscious. Like these flowers are literally wildflowers, so that also helps. And I also try to shop at places that I know that carry like organic and like naturally grown things as well. So yeah. My life is so different than it used to be when I used to make vlogs like this. So if you're watching any of my old videos and you stumble upon this, I'm sure you're gonna be like, is that the same girl? It is. So these are some of the vessels that I keep water in for my altar, for my ancestors and things like that, for my spirit guides. So I clean them every Monday and I add some fresh water in there. You have your own practice and your own way of connecting with your peeps. Make sure that you are refreshing your space weekly. No one wants to live in a dirty home, so think about how your ancestors feel when you don't tend to your space. They live here with you too, so it's really important that you are keeping that in mind as well. This is my Rose of Jericho plant. The Rose of Jericho is an incredible and magical plant, and you can have the plant in your home in a bowl. It doesn't have to be submerged like this. You could do your own Google's research, but I have mine submerged in this cool little vessel, and I also clean this out weekly. I've been gone for a week, so you can tell the water is like murky, and it doesn't smell, thankfully. There's some Rose of Jerichos when you're first starting to work with her, as you're training her to be submerged in water, because this is a plant that is used to a dry climate. So when you submerge her in water, you have to train her to be underwater because that's not her natural environment. So you have to clean the water out more frequently because it starts to smell. But I've trained her so the water doesn't smell necessarily now, it just does get murky. So in here I have my Rose of Jericho, and the Rose of Jericho is really good for abundance and prosperity, so I keep this in my office. This is what she looks like, and when you buy her at any botanica or metaphysical shop or whatever, it's gonna come closed like a dried up ball. And as you expose her to water and she gets acclimated, this is what she's gonna look like. Some Rose of Jerichos are even more like vibrant and green. So I just take her and I just rinse her under the faucet, clean her out under the faucet. And as I'm cleaning her out, I'm setting intentions and just being present and thanking her energy for working with me, thanking her for bringing me aligned abundance and prosperity, and just really being in a spirit of gratitude for the things that I have while honoring the things that I desire. I think having like a beautiful balance of that is really important. And so there she is. And then inside the actual bowl I have some crystals in here, and then I have 7 coins as well. So I take those out, I give them a good rinse, and then I rinse out the vessel. You want to make sure that you rinse it out very well and you remove whatever film or grime is in there. I rinse her very thoroughly. Sometimes I'll add a few drops of soap as well and make sure that I'm just cleaning in there very, very well. And I'm just like cleaning it with my hand. Removing any film on the sides. Again, as I'm doing this too, I'm just being very, very intentional, very grounded. Having like the jazz in the back and the incense burning definitely helps you just be present. And it's just a really beautiful way to start your week. It's been like 2 years since I set up that rule that I don't work on Mondays. And don't get me wrong, there's some times that I do work because I have a busy season in the business, but for the most part, I can't express how like life-changing it has been to dedicate these days to myself, to dedicate these days to connect to spirit before I start my work week. It's been so nice. So these little rituals that I do every morning just keep me very grounded. And I really, really enjoy these moments where I can be with myself and also be in gratitude to my ancestors and guides and to God for this life that I'm living. It may not be perfect. Be careful with this, by the way. It may not be perfect, but I'm always in gratitude. So I put the coins back at the bottom, I put the Rose of Jericho on top, then I put the crystals on top of her, and then I fill up the bowl to almost to the top. I like to keep this in my office. The placement of it is tricky because if I put her on the floor, Rico thinks it's a drinking bowl and will literally be drinking water out of my Rose of Jericho. I'm trying to train him that this is not a drinking bowl. And it drives me nuts because he has water in his bowl, but he will come drink out of my Rose of Jericho. So sometimes I put her on the floor near me so that she's near me when I'm like pulling cards. Sometimes I'll put her elevated by my plants so that Rico won't get to her. So fresh. And then I take her back to my office. Okay. Now, for the next step in my routine is I have to make coffee for my grandmother, ancestors. So she likes her coffee in a greca. She's very adamant about that. I do have an espresso. I used to drink so much more coffee a few years ago, especially when I first got my Nespresso. That's why I got it. Nespresso coffee is so good, but as I've just been doing my work, I've become more sensitive to energy, so I can't have coffee as much as I used to have it before because it makes me like anxious, and it's like it's a lot on my energy, I've noticed. So I've had to cut back on coffee. So I do have my Nespresso every once in a while. I'll do have a little tiny bit of coffee so I can sit with my grandmother, just kind of like chatting it up with her. But for the most part, I don't drink as much coffee as I used to before, and it kind of makes me a little sad, but it's okay. Another thing that is very important when I make coffee for my great grandmother and then my business spirit guide is that they are very adamant about the coffee either being like Santo Domingo coffee, for example, Bustelo, or like a black owned brand. Like I can't just be using no Folgers. Like they don't want no Folgers coffee. It needs to be from the island, or it needs to be black owned. I had Cafe Santo Domingo that I had bought in New York, so I used that, and then I ran out of that, and now I have this Black and Bold coffee. This is a black owned coffee brand that is really dope. Actually, the coffee tastes really good, and they're a certified B Corporation. 5% of their profits goes towards our youth and helping them assisting disadvantaged domestic youth with defying their odds in pursuit of living their best lives. 5% of their profits are contributed to initiatives across the U.S. that further this imperative, which is really cool. They did a collaboration with Black Panther when it came out, so obviously this coffee is a little older. but it doesn't expire until 2024. So I use this for them because they're very adamant about the coffee being particular, you know. About a scoop and a half there for them. My grandmother does like her coffee a little strong. And then we're gonna fill this with water. I went to a Café Bustelo event years ago, and they let us take these little cups home. So this is what I use to give coffee to my grandmother and my other spirit guides on my altars. Since I'm just making coffee for them, I don't put too much water in there. I usually will fill up the little teacups, and then whatever is left over I'll have for me. Just enough to share coffee with them, but not enough to, like, you know. I usually will have some fresh flowers as well because I usually go to the supermarkets on Mondays. But since I have my period today, I just got back in from traveling yesterday. Like, I'm probably not gonna do groceries until later on during the week. I got some takeout yesterday, and I will probably get some takeout today too. I've been craving Ethiopian food, and there's a really good Ethiopian spot not too far from where I'm at, so I will probably call in and order some food. And what I love about Ethiopian food is that it's, number one, it's so delicious, but it heats up very well and the flavors get even better. So I'm gonna get enough so that I can have some food today and probably some food for tomorrow. Cause yeah, when I get my period, I just be like, I need some grounding foods and I don't wanna do much. Okay, what else do we do? Having coffee while you're on your period is actually not good, so I'm not even gonna have a sip of coffee or anything. And I'm actually having this wellness tea that I bought in Canada at the shop that I went to. It's a moontime tea, and it's really good for tackling the pressure, pains, and cramps during your period, which is, I just feel like a lot of pressure. I don't have cramping, but it just feels like a lot of pressure. It's caffeine free. It has ginger, rosehip, peppermint, spearmint, raspberry leaves, chamomile, nettle, rose petals, lime, lemongrass leaves, calendula, and marigold. So I just steep some. Like in the back, I just steep some in my cute little teapot. I'll put a link to the teapot in the description. It's from Amazon. And then just pouring some tea in here, and I'm just gonna be sipping on this because you know how it be. You know how it be. Get up something to eat because I'm hungry. Pouring cafecito. It's for my business spirit guide. And my grandmother likes nutmeg in her coffee. She used to, if you have like a Dominican grandmother, you know that they will take nuez moscada, I think it's called in Spanish, and they take like a little tiny little grinder and they would just grind the nutmeg into the coffee. But I got some organic nutmeg from Whole Foods, and I do a few little sprinkles of that in her coffee, and then I put this by her photo on my altar. I'm not gonna show you guys my altar because that feels like very sacred to me. It is very sacred to me, but let's go ahead and take this to the office. This is the top of my bookshelf. On the bottom, which I won't show you guys, is my like altar and all the things that I have set up. So just to give you guys like a little idea of what's going on here. So after I made the coffee, do all the things, I come down, I have my coffee or my tea in this case, and I'll sit in front of my bookshelf where my altar is, and I'll have jazz playing in the background or meditation music, and I'll just sit there drinking my tea in gratitude. Sometimes I'll play my sound bowl. This is a third eye chakra sound bowl. Your third eye is for psychic vision, intuition, all the things. So I'll sit here and I'll play that, and I will journal. I'll pull some oracle cards for myself, some tarot cards for myself. Sometimes I'll make a fixed candle that I'm setting intentions into, choosing some herbs that I'm currently working with, and I'll spray that on the candle and then say a prayer and light that. And I'll just sit there for however long I need to. I really give myself plenty of time to do this routine every Monday, and then typically then every day what I'll do is I'll try and sit at my altar and just pray and meditate, even for 15 minutes. And again, I usually will wake up depending on how I feel, but I give myself until 10 o'clock to get my day started. So whatever I do before that is on me. So if I want to have a day, if I want to start my day just really like slow, I'll wake up like at 6 or 7 and I'll go for a long walk with Rico. I'll come back, I'll make myself a bomb breakfast, I'll take a shower, I'll get dressed, I'll sit in front of my altar, and that could be like a 4-hour morning routine, and it's glorious and it's lovely. And then I'll start my actual work day at 10 o'clock. So it's a little bit kind of behind the scenes of my day-to-day thing, but specifically my Monday resets. So now I'm gonna share with you guys, this will be like the spiritual haul part of the vlog, and I'll share with you guys some of the things that I got on my trip. So last week I went to Detroit with some girlfriends, and then we drove from Detroit to Canada, because for those of you that don't know, Canada is literally right across the street from Detroit. So we went to a city or a town in Canada called Essex. We rented a Airbnb that was right on Lake Erie, which was really nice. It was like a little cottage, super cute, had a hot tub, and yeah, we just kind of like vibed out. And it's really nice because we're all entrepreneurs, we're all spiritual as well, so it's just kind of nice to be like on that same wavelength with other people. And on the way back to Detroit, we stopped at a store that was called Smudge Spiritual Boutique and Botanica. It's in Ontario, Canada. And I picked up some things, so I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I picked up. This tea that I showed you guys for when you're on your period. I also got this magical tea, and it's called a Dream Walker tea. So it's a magical flowering cup to calm and open up your psychic senses for astral travel, and it has white tea, hibiscus, and lavender flowers in it, and light honey notes with citrus and floral undertones. So 3 flowers come in here, and it's really cool. Let me show you guys what it actually looks like. This is the tea. So it's this flower that you put in your teacup, and the lady was telling me that as you put it in the cup, it'll start to open. So I'm excited to do a little astral traveling with this tea. And it says, a blooming white tea to calm and expand your consciousness. As the pod evolves in your cup, the petals paint the water with magic. Feel your energy getting lighter. So there's that. I also got some matcha. They had a blue butterfly pea flower matcha that I just had to grab up because I love me some matcha. And this is a color changing magical cup, earthy aroma. It says, I manifest good health while embracing love, peace, and serenity. Add some color in your day. And it has butterfly blue pea flower. It's caffeine free, and it has mild herbal notes. It says, a rare blue matcha, add to hot water, smoothies, or drinks. It also says, the rare Clitoria ternacia flower, known for its transformation, love, protection, serenity, and health properties. Ground into a matcha powder. Treats aches and pains, vitality and brain health, high antioxidants, and ease digestion. I'm really excited to have this, so I'll definitely be making some cool matcha with this. And then I got some incense, so I got some Nag Champa. This is the vanilla flavor, or like addition. It's not a flavor, but this smells so good. So these are just regular like incense sticks. I'm actually about to burn some in my office. I told y'all I always have incense burning. I have incense in my bathroom, when I take a shower, in the kitchen, in the office. So it just smells so good because they have like a beautiful vanilla scent. So love these. And then I got some incense cones. These are Reiki energy incense cones, and they smell really, really good as well. And I love that they came with like a little metal disc to actually burn the cone, because you can't just burn these cones on any surface. And this is what the cones look like. And then the white copal that I told you guys about, the resin. Can y'all see this? I feel like it's kind of blown out. YouTube hands, the white copal. I also got this incense, which is really cool. It's called capachi. It's a sacred purification incense traditionally used by the Quechua people of the Cusco region of Peru in the ritual Quapac Capachi, purification, cleansing, bringing luck and good fortune in many areas of life, work, love, and health. It has Palo Santo, lavender, anise, quinoa, gregas, copal, Wairokoya, rosemary, and basil. And this is what it looks like. So you just burn, remember the coal that I showed y'all? You would just take a pinch of this and burn it on the coal, and I've already been burning it. It smells amazing. And then I did pick up a book. I'm a little bit of a book whore. I'm always gonna have a book. And this is the handbook of Yoruba religious concepts. I love learning about African traditional religions, African derived religions. I love learning about ancestral rituals, ancestral practices, Native American practices, all those things. So I wanted to add this to my collection to learn more about the Yoruba religious concepts. I know some, I just know innately some of them, just kind of like being around the work, but I thought it'd be cool to read about it in this book. And then my friend gifted us all a pocket animal spirit deck and guidebook. So I'll probably use these for some business energy readings in the future. They're really cool. It's like pocket size, and it's just different cards for different animal archetypes and energies. And yeah, I'm excited to use these for my readings. The animals been talking to me, y'all. They have been talking to me very loud and clear. And so prior to her gifting this to us, I had actually bought an animal oracle deck. It's like the OG traditional one, the medicine cards. Probably use that in a future reading as well. So when she gives us this, I'm like, oh my God, I just bought some oracle cards about animals. The animals been talking to me. Okay, these things I did not buy in Canada, but I bought them like recently, so I wanted to share them with you guys. So I went to the Smithsonian Museum in DC, the African American Smithsonian Museum. If you have not been, you need to go. It is incredible. So much history in there. It's just, definitely brace yourself, ground yourself before you go. Take your agua de Florida or whatever you need to ground yourself after, because it's heavy, especially the lower levels. But then at the same time, like the upper levels are so incredible, because you just get to see like the resilience and the creativity that Black people are made of. And it's like, wow, like we went through all that shit, and like look at all the dope stuff that we created. So anyways, after that, I went to a place called Busboys and Poets in DC. It's like a bookstore slash cafe, and I bought some books. So I picked up this book called Choke Point Capitalism: How Big Tech and Big Content Capture Creative Labor Markets and How We'll Win Them Back. Definitely for my nerdy business side. And then I picked up this book, and I actually got a signed copy. It's called Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. If you don't know about Elizabeth Acevedo, girl, I don't know what to tell you. Definitely Google her. This is her first adult book. Most of the books that she's known for and she's written were young adult novels. Clap When You Land, Poet X are some of her really popular books. I loved them, and so I was so excited to hear that she was writing an adult novel, and it's called Family Lore. And my friends and I are actually doing a book club, so I was able to not only pick up a signed copy for me, but I was able to pick up a signed copy for them because they had them in the store, which is really cool. This is what Elizabeth looks like. literally we look like primas. And this book is basically all about a Dominican family, and it's told through the voices of the women in the family as they await a gathering that will forever change their lives. And some of the women in the family have spiritual gifts. Some of them can see the future. Some of them, let's see, it's just, pick it up. I'm currently reading it now. Maybe I'll do like a book review on it. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. So I got that. And then, like, when I tell y'all I really love oracle decks, it's like an addiction. They all have their own different energies, and you know, I may not always want to use the same deck every single day because the energy is different. So I picked up this oracle deck called the Realist Oracle deck. It says finding magic in the mundane, and it was so funny because yesterday I pulled some cards for myself, and I was like, okay, like I have some questions, but like, and I'm like looking through my decks like, okay, like what kind of energy do I want to tap in to answer these questions? And I'm like, you know what, I want some real energy, like just give it to me straight up. And I was like, oh my god, the Realist Oracle deck, I'm gonna use that. And I pulled some cards, and when I tell you the read, these cards definitely read me, checked me, all of the above. So good. So I'm going to be doing the business energy reading from this deck today. So make sure that you watch it if you haven't watched it. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys was a little gift from nature that I recently got. So about 2 weeks ago, it was storming really bad in the East Coast, and for like 3 days it was just raining nonstop. And I finally took Rico out to the trail that I frequently daily to connect with nature, and there's also a creek on that trail. Maybe I'll take you guys one of these days. I'll take my camera. But there was this huge tree that fell over, and the trunk was huge, and the tree broke in half, but then also in thirds. And like this piece of the tree was just sitting on top of the stump, and then the rest of the stump had fallen over, and it was just sitting like this. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, like how crazy that that tree broke like that, and that little piece is just sitting there. And I don't know why, but I instantly was like, oh my god, can I take that home with me? And I did ask permission to the tree, because y'all just can't be taking shit from nature. Like, it doesn't work that way. Y'all have to ask for permission. And I had gone to the trail to give some flowers as a offering and as a thank you to, I have like a mama tree that I always connect with, so I had gone to give her her flowers. And so when I saw this, I asked permission if I could take it, and the tree said yes. And instantly when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I could keep that in my office to like bring that grounding energy from the forest and the trees into my office. But also I'm like, I could use this. I had two ideas. I'm like, I could cut like a hole in it right here to put a vase in it to use it as like a centerpiece with a vase and flowers. Or I could use it like when I do card readings, I could keep it in my office, and when I pull the cards, I could just kind of like display the cards on there. Like, they won't stay up now because it's slanted, but do you see, like I can use it to display my cards. So that's what I have in my office. And I feel like too, when I kind of film my business readings, like I can put the cards on here, and then I could just do like a cool kind of like pan, you know, so the messages can be very grounded. So yeah, I got this really cool piece of wood from the tree, and it hangs out in my office now. And then I got a PR package. Can't believe I'm even doing this. I stopped giving out my address to brands for stuff because, for so many reasons. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But like, I just didn't want this accumulation of shit in my house. Like, if I want a new foundation, like I can afford to go buy that foundation that I like in my color, and I don't need that foundation in 50 different colors that you guys send out as a PR package. Like, I appreciate that y'all think of me, and I appreciate that these brands, like, you know, have added me to their PR list. But at the same time, I think about, like, there's so many things. It's like the energy of these products, the energies that then is in your home. And the thing is that if you come from nothing, when you start to work in this industry and you get added to these PR lists and you have scarcity issues or you're on survival mode and they start sending you all these free products, you start to become a hoarder in a way. And you know, you start to accumulate all these things and it's hard for you to let go of it because you're like, but it's free. They gave it to me for free. And like, this powder costs $70. I can't just give it away, or I can't. And it's like in your mind, you save everything thinking that you're going to use it all, but it's so much stuff that you never actually use it all. And I would give stuff away to my friends all the time. I would take stuff with me to Dominican Republic to give to my family and friends there all the time, and I still had so much stuff. So I cleaned out all my makeup, got rid of a lot of makeup, donated a lot of makeup, and I have restricted myself to, like, if it does not fit in these two little shelves that I have, like, you can't have it and you can't buy any more of it. And so yeah, that's kind of like been my rule. And I'm not doing beauty blogger content anymore, so like I don't need all that stuff. So I still get emails about people reaching out asking for my address. I'm very picky about who I give my address to. It has to be like very, very, very aligned. Otherwise, like, I don't care for it. I can just go buy it. I don't need a PR package. But anyways, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and the Bonita Project sent me over this box that they had partnered up with Urban Decay. And you guys know that I love Urban Decay. Always have, always will. And so they sent me a bunch of products. Their all-nighter spray, their liquid eyeliner, lip liner, and their new lip balm products. I have it on right now. I don't know if you can see, but I'm really surprised at how, like, I ate food, I drank coffee, and it's a very like neutral color, so I don't know if you can fully see it, but yeah, it stayed on. And then they send it also in this red color, and we got some moon dust here to add on top of the eyeshadow. They collaborated with Vela Negra and sent this hand-poured vegan coconut soy candle called Morena. It smells like cocoa. It smells like cacao. And then they also sent the Manifest That Shit journal by Julissa Calderon. And then this little card in here. So thank you, Bonita Project. Thank you, Urban Decay, for the goodies. I'll never say no to y'all. I appreciate y'all. And it's nice to see them collaborate with, you know, two small Latina business owners to include their products in there as well. So shout out to y'all. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. Let me know what you think. I figured I just wanted to give y'all a little something extra since, you know, I did not vlog while I was away, and that actually felt really, really good because old me would have been like, oh my God. And at first I was like, I took my camera and everything with me. I was like, I have to pull these cards. I have to do the, and then I was like, I don't have to do anything. I really want to be present. I want to enjoy my time here, and they can wait. I'll do the video when I get back. I'm sure I'll have even more insights to share with them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog. And if you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. See what happens. If you haven't watched the business energy reading for the week, make sure you check it out. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. If you have any questions, leave them in the description, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.